You know that specific sinking feeling? You're reading an article in English and you get every single word.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're listening to a podcast, you're nodding along, it all makes sense. But then you're in a meeting, maybe just at a coffee shop, and someone asks you a simple question. And nothing. Just static.
The wall. It's the wall.
Exactly. The wall. Your brain just freezes, your palms get sweaty, and that massive library of words is in your head somewhere. It just locks its doors.
It is the single most common pain point, and it's so important to realize right off the bat that this isn't a knowledge problem. It's not about vocabulary. It's a retrieval problem.
A retrieval problem.
Yeah, you have the data. You just can't get to it in real time because of all the pressure.
So today, we're trying to fix that. We're not talking about grammar drills or textbooks. We're looking at a stack of resources that are all about, well, smashing through that wall. We've got a really fascinating case study of a learner named Liam who basically hacked fluency using AI.
Right, and we have some deep dives into the psychology of how to stop translating in your head.
And the specific vocabulary that separates, a textbook student from someone who sounds natural.
The mission here is to move you from just studying English to actually sort of living inside of it.
Right.
If there's one single thread running through all these sources, it's that fluency isn't about memorizing more words, it's a shift in identity. It's about building a system.
We'll start with that identity shift because the case study of Liam is, well, it's intense. This isn't your typical, I wanted to watch movies without subtitles story.
No, not at all. It starts with a genuine crisis.
So Liam is a 22-year-old from a small town. For years, he just told himself he didn't need English. He actively avoided it.
Used translation apps if he absolutely had to, until his mother started having severe chest pains one night.
Which is a nightmare scenario for anyone. They rush to the hospital, and the doctor who comes in to treat her only speaks English.
And Liam just freezes. The doctor is asking about family history, using words like cardiac related, and Liam is just standing there, totally unable to advocate for his mom.
Wow.
He said later he couldn't even ask, is she going to be okay? Just this profound sense of emptiness.
That helplessness must be a brutal motivator.
Oh, it is. That night, the switch just flipped. He decided he was learning so he would never feel that powerless again. But here's where it gets interesting for you listening. He didn't go hire a tutor.
Right. He didn't sign up for a class.
Nope. He turned to ChatGPT.
And I think a lot of people try this, but they drop it after a week. They just don't know how to use it.
Exactly. Liam used it specifically because it offered a safe space. I mean, one of the biggest things holding people back is the fear of judgment, right? The fear of sounding stupid.
Oh, absolutely.
The AI doesn't roll its eyes at you. It doesn't get impatient.
So let's break down his actual routine because it's surprisingly rigorous.
It's brilliant in its simplicity. It starts with a diary entry. Every morning, he spends about 15 minutes with the AI, and he just writes a few sentences. At first, they were very broken. Something like, today I wake late, feel sleepy.
Okay, communicates the idea, but the grammar's obviously messy.
Right, so he gives the AI a very specific prompt, correct this and explain the changes. And the AI comes back, today I woke up late, I felt sleepy. But, and this is the key part that most people miss, he doesn't just read it and move on.
He does shadowing, right?
Yes, he reads the corrected sentence out loud 5 times. Then he records himself on his phone and listens back. He's forcing his mouth to build that muscle memory for the correct forms.
I think that physical aspect is so overlooked. We think of language as, what, a mental thing like math?
Yeah.
But it's gymnastic.
Precisely. If you only read the correction, you're just training your eyes. Liam was training his mouth, and he took it a step further with his mistakes journal. He had this mantra, my mistakes equal my masters.
That's a strong mindset. Usually mistakes are just embarrassing.
For him, they were data. If he said, I am boring, when he meant, I am bored, a classic error, he'd write it down. Then he'd use another prompt. Explain the difference between these two phrases like, I am a 5-year-old.
That, I'm 5 data prompt is so valuable. It just strips away all the jargon. No past participles or gerunds.
It's all about meaning over mechanics. So once he got the basics, he moved to simulation. He realized he needed to practice real-life stuff before it happened.
Like a flight simulator for conversation.
Exactly. He'd tell the AI, act as a waiter, I'm the customer, we're going to talk about the menu. And he practiced ordering a burger for 3 days straight. I'd like a burger, please. Can I have that without onions?
It sounds repetitive, but I totally see the logic. If you rehearse the script, when you actually walk into the restaurant, that cognitive load is just gone.
You aren't translating, you're performing. You're reciting a script you already own. And that brings us to the biggest enemy of fluency, translating in your head.
This is the wall we started with.
It is. I mean, if you hear English, translate it to your language, think of an answer, translate it back, and then speak. You've already lost the rhythm of the conversation.
The moment's passed.
hmm
So how do you break that loop? It feels so automatic.
You have to rewire it. One technique is to narrate your day. When you wake up, you force your internal monologue into English. Just simple stuff.
Like what?
I am brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I need to find my socks.
That has to feel incredibly weird at first.
It does. It feels unnatural, but you're training your brain to label reality in English directly. It's the same with visualization. When you learn apple, you need to cut out the middleman.
Don't connect it to the word in your language. Connect it directly to the image of the red fruit.
Exactly. When you see the fruit, the English word should just pop up. Liam actually took this to an extreme. He created an alter ego.
English, Liam.
Right, English Liam. He decided his English-speaking self was a different character. English Liam was louder, funnier, and just didn't care about making mistakes.
That is such a smart psychological hack. It detaches your ego from the failure. If English Liam messes up, it's just part of the character. It's not you being stupid.
It's fake it till you make it for linguistics. It just lets you experiment without all the shame.
Okay, so that's the mindset. Let's talk about the mechanics, the actual words. One of the sources points out we often focus on the wrong vocabulary. We try to learn these big, impressive words.
But we can't explain how we got to work. We chase these intellectual words because we want to sound smart, but we fumble the simple verbs that structure our day.
They use a drill called the 140 questions technique, which is basically a stress test for your daily routine.
And if you look at the vocabulary there, it's all about these phrasal verbs. It's not just I leave bed, it's I get out of bed. That little phrase is the glue.
And then you head straight home.
Exactly. You don't just go home, you head straight home.
Yeah.
These little word clusters are what make you sound fluent. You write them down, but then you have to drill them verbally.
So once you have those basics down, you want to stop sounding like a robot. You want to have a personality.
This is the jump from intermediate to advanced. This is where you start, painting with color.
Right, and we've got a great breakdown on this. It's all about real-life English, words that add dimension to how you describe people.
She highlights a few great ones. Take the word dependable.
That's a solid word.
It is. It means trustworthy, reliable. But it has more weight than just good. If you say, my brother is the most dependable person I know, you're painting a picture. It implies he's been tested and he's passed.
Then you have exuberant.
Which is a fantastic word. Joyously unrestrained. You describe someone as exuberant, and I immediately picture them. They're the loudest laugher in the room. It's so much better than just saying happy.
I also like the nuance she gave for self-assured.
That one is tricky. It means confident, but the context is everything. She is a self-assured leader is a huge compliment. But if you say he's a little too self-assured, it's a very polite way of calling someone arrogant.
The best part of that section for me, though, was the story she told about the word reserved.
The story of her best friend.
Yeah, because reserved can sound negative, like just shy or quiet. But in her story, she's stuck in this super awkward lunch with an ex-boyfriend.
And her reserved friend, who's been quiet the whole time, suddenly speaks up, looks the guy dead in the eye and says, if you're done, it's okay to walk away.
Mic drop.
Exactly. It reframes reserved not as weak, but as economical. You save your words for when they really matter.
And that, friend, brings us to the slang term that's just essential for modern culture. Ride or die.
Ride or die. It's about extreme loyalty. It comes from hip-hop, but it's totally mainstream now. If you say, she is my ride or die.
It means she is with you through absolutely anything. You will not find that in a textbook. And you definitely shouldn't use it in a job interview.
Definitely not. But using it correctly with friends, it shows you're culturally in tune. It closes that distance.
So we have the mindset, this English Liam idea. We have the daily routine. We have the advanced vocabulary. The last piece is the environment. How do you do this if you don't live in New York or London?
You have to create an immersion bubble. One simple, slightly annoying trick. Change your phone's language settings to English.
Ugh, that is high-friction learning. Trying to find the Wi-Fi toggle when you're in a hurry.
It's frustrating, but it forces your brain to survive in English in these low-stakes moments. Same with your shopping list. Write milk and eggs. Every time you look at it, you reinforce that pathway.
And bringing it back to Liam one last time, he used the mirror technique.
This is pure confidence training. He stood in front of a mirror, looked himself in the eye, and gave himself a pep talk in English. I am learning. I am not giving up.
It sounds a bit cringy, honestly, standing there talking to yourself.
It is. It feels ridiculous. But speaking a new language is physical. You have to get used to seeing your mouth make those new shapes, hearing your own voice without flinching. The mirror desensitizes you to that.
And we have to accept that the wall isn't going to vanish overnight.
No. And even native speakers hit the wall. We say, we forget words, we correct ourselves mid-sentence.
I do it constantly. I lose my train of thought all the time.
Me too. Perfection isn't the goal. Connection is. Liam's breakthrough wasn't when he had perfect grammar. It was when he realized his mistakes were just stepping stones. English Liam could mess up and still order the burger.
It really all comes down to building that system, doesn't it?
That's the takeaway. Fluency isn't a destination, it's a habit. It requires that daily friction speaking, writing, reflecting, even for just 15 minutes.
And that idea of the English avatar, English you, is such a powerful tool.
I agree. And I'd leave you with this thought. If you had to design your English avatar right now, who would they be?
That's a good question.
How would they walk? How would they project their voice? Would they be more direct than you are? Maybe more polite? A new language is a chance to reinvent yourself a little bit.
That is something to chew on. So, here's your challenge for right now, the second this deep dive ends. Narrate your very next action in English.
Just something simple. I am taking off my headphones, or I am walking to the kitchen.
Say it out loud. Start living inside the language. Thanks for diving in with us today. Good luck building your English avatar, and we'll catch you on the next one.